So the other thing was that, so with what, to me, this is how I am shown. So we had these groups. Okay, so if you think about America, well, it's all over the whole globe, but I'm going to talk about America. But you had these groups that were more on the outskirts of cities, right? They were little towns, little communities, and they were especially over, you know, more on the East Coast, and I don't even know what all the, you know, I think that up by the Great Lakes, the places where there's been settlers the longest. You know, there's more community, there's more industry and manufacturing and stuff started in those places first. And then it started moving out, you know, but like out on the West Coast, you have like big tech and shit like that. But over there, you know, before, it was all like car manufacturing, all sort of industry, you know, that people, communities built up so that they could have jobs for the people in their communities, and people stayed in communities. Like there's tight-knit communities that have been where, you know, these same families for generations and generations have been there for each other. And it kind of is like when, you know, one of the kids leaves, it's kind of on the scale like with the Amish people. Like, you know, they allow their older teenager to go into the city and have that experience and decide, like, are you going to give your life over to this, or are you going to give your life over to that? And, you know, they have to decide that for themselves, which is a true thing. For every single thing, you have to decide it for yourself. You know, if you want to heal, you can decide that for yourself. And you can just claim it. You know, just claim it. Even if you don't even know where to begin, how to begin, it will come to you. And so you have all these really tight-knit, smaller communities. Well, so then the controllers decided, well, you know, we got to break that up. We need to get these people gathered up. We need them in a more confined space. So we need to go after them. We need to take away the manufacturing. We need to take away the industry. We need more control of that. We need the corporate world to be a corporate world. We need to run it all. And we can't let these people have power. We can't let these people have independence. And so they started taking those things away from the people. Well, out there in those communities where it has been like that, those people have strong moral fiber and stuff. And, you know, they did go to church and stuff like that, but it wasn't to, you know, show off to their friends or whatever. It was because they really were looking for, you know, what they felt was kind of communication. But it's also, what is that when like-minded people come together and stuff? But you know what I'm talking about. Like, oh God, the word keeps coming to my head. But anyway, so, you know, they were living a lot more like closer to how human beings should be able to live, right? And, you know, they're the hunters, the people who grow food, the people who are more independent from government and stuff like that. That's why they can feel it so much when the government steps on their toes. And a lot of them, you know, because of the older communities, and when you have older communities like that, there's more respect for the elderly. So there's a lot more storytelling. There's a lot more transference between generation and generation of information. Not like what they're doing to us in the city, what they did, you know, to divide the generations. You know, they even started naming them. You know, we gotta have names for them. We need them all divided. This one believes this, you know, and they create this fucking fighting all the time. But in these communities, it's not like that so much. It is a lot more like people listen to other people, so that the Constitution mattered to them. You know, it was like the grandpa's grandpa understood it, and has always talked about, like, these are important things to their family, right? So these values became, you know, a generational kind of thing. So when shit started going down and people started being like, okay, now we're seeing it. Like, now you're stepping on our toes. Now you're getting in my fucking lane. Now you're taking, I mean, it wasn't enough you took our shit away and then told us, you know, it was for our betterment. But now you're trying to take away you know, are ways to be independent from you completely. You don't want us to be independent. Those people started speaking out. Well, they started being called like Blanco, you know, power. And so they started calling them and getting other people to go against them. Oh, you know, don't listen to them. Those are the bad people. And what is kind of ironic here is that, or whatever the word would be, is that a lot of these communities that are like that, there isn't a lot of diversity. A lot of them are smaller white communities. It's not like that they don't like these people or those people or whatever. But what the government, the corporation has done is segregate us on purpose so that they can do things just like this. They can isolate. They can get these groups to go against that group. They can name and label this group to that group. And then they can create the dramas that go on between the groups when really they are segregating us for control. So like, for instance, like, you know, I mean, this was talked about like, what was that? The Boys in the Hood. This is when that really, I mean, that's how far back, you know, that movie, I don't remember when it was made. It was a long time ago. But that is when I really started seeing and understanding what was going on about the segregation. And then there's been so many whistleblowers and so much stuff that has come out. But, you know, they want to keep those people in these neighborhoods. And, you know, even if you go to places like California or New York, where it's just built on diversity, right? You still will go in and it's segregated. You will still go in and it'll be this community, the Vietnamese community, the Chinese community, the Russian community, the Mexican community. You know, they all have their own communities. They stick together, which is beneficial to the government when they want to create a problem. Like they can make it all of a sudden a whole group doesn't have any water. They can make it suddenly a whole group fears like that if they go and, you know, go 2 miles over the speed limit, they're going to probably get shot. You know, it's, they have those abilities to create that because they have so much control by isolating. And then they have so much manipulation because they think they get this person and these groups to think like these groups are out to get them. These groups think these groups are out to get them. Like they just have everybody just, and then they use the frequencies and stuff to keep everybody on edge. They keep the constant traumas and dramas going at you all the fucking time so that you're just on fucking edge. You just pull away. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it. I just want to go live my life. All of that is on purpose. None of it is by accident. None of it is a coincidence. None of it is all done totally on purpose. And, you know, the more that when people start really getting it and realizing it, the more that we'll be able to unify and come together just as human beings. And, you know, one thing that, because I was thinking about this kid in my early morning hours, there was a whole bunch of things I was thinking about, but in this one little thought scenario, so I was thinking about this kid that I liked in high school. I was just thinking, I think it was junior high. I think I first got my crush on him in junior high. This went on for years and years. And I had a crush on this kid. I mean, when you're in those age, you have a crush on a whole bunch of kids. But this one boy, Jack Buble, I just, oh, he was so cute. He was tall and thin, and he had really dark skin, and he had beautiful black hair and dark eyes. He was just really, really handsome kid. But he was super shy. And we would talk, but I just always thought he was really beautiful, and I really liked him. And I never knew what nationality he was. Like, I don't know, you know, I don't even know what his last name means. I don't know, you know, is he Middle Eastern? Is he Mexican? You know, I have no idea. It's not like that we cared, you know, as people, we don't care. When we meet somebody, we like them. They want us to focus on these colors and stuff, but that's not what we focus on. You know, we focus on connection, you know, as humans. But anyways, so, anyways, while I was thinking about that, I was thinking about, you know, it's crazy because I would say probably Asian people are probably the whitest people on the planet. They've got like the least amount of pigmentation, I think, in their skin. They are super, super white. And, some people call them, I mean, everybody's got a different way of seeing different colors. They can see whatever they want. I see very, very white. But, you know, that's suddenly not white. Then that's Asian. And the Asian people are being attacked and beaten by, I don't know, everybody, I guess. But see how, you know, they can't just divide us into color even. Then they have to just constantly get subcategory, and keep us as divided as possible. You know, anything they can find to divide us. Like I've told you before, even when I was in that march, you know, in the LGBT, whatever, all of those. And this was a women's march. This wasn't a march about that. But I have been to those before. But, and this person was telling me how they were so marginalized. And this person had serious, I mean, they were born with some type of syndrome. You know, they really didn't have a defined gender. They never did, you know, and they were being marginalized by the letters people. And, you know, talked about it the whole fucking march. And, you know, that's the thing, is that the whole thing is just to divide us. It's not to bring us together. It's not to try and find us to, you know, we have to do that. We form communities. We form bonds and stuff like that. We don't have to stay segregated like they want us to be. That's what they want, you know, and, you know, the communities they want to feel the worst, they stick an abortion clinic, a liquor store, and a gun store on every fucking corner. And those are the ones they want to destroy the most. And they're doing that. We're not doing that. They're doing it. And then they want, you know, I mean, just think, how stupid would a person of color have to be to get pulled over and to become confrontational and get themselves done in? But that's what they want us to believe, you know. The media wants us to believe. You know, it happens constantly. It's like, I don't know. I kind of think these people are a little smarter than that. I don't think that they're being confrontational. And I really don't think, I mean, with how many officers are going to jail and shit and being caught on, you know, phones and stuff like that, I really don't think that they're just out like, hey, who can we kill today? Let's go kill some people. You know, I don't think that they're doing that. But that's like what they want us to believe, you know. But look at how much control. Look at how much division. Look at how much chaos. So they accomplish what they want. And, you know, but the more that people can pull away from this manipulated way of seeing the world and get in touch with yourself, the more that we are going to, you know, we're going to form this bond with each other, you know. And I know there's going to be an event besides the big event. There's going to be an event that's going to, I don't really know if it's going to be like the programming just suddenly is turned off, in their frequencies and stuff, and people's brains are going to hurt. Or, you know, I don't know how this is going to go down, but, I mean, the lights are about to come on for everybody. Oh, see, dogs are bossy. Like, they want what they want when they want it. She's like, hey, I'm doing what I'm... And that dog is smart, too, man. Trixie is smart. Like, she saw what Stella does to get into the house. And Stella will come up and hit the door like, I want to come in. Or sometimes Stella will just come and just sit outside and whine. But usually she'll come up and hit the door like, I want to come in. And so Trixie just watched her do that, and she just started doing it. She didn't need me to show her and teach her. There's a lot of stuff that Trixie has done that she's just watched and figured out herself. Tell me that's not fucking consciousness. Tell me that's not, I mean, that is intelligence. It's not just this, you know, haphazard being that has no soul out here just jumping around. Yeah, you know, But that is going to be the thing, as, you know, once this, you know, the event happens, which I kind of get the feeling like it's going to be within the next 5 years or something. I'd heard somebody say a long time ago it was going to be around 27, but nobody knows about time. And we just know it's the end of one cycle and going into another cycle. And it's been talked about, you know, through ancient times. But, you know, nobody knows the exact day or year or anything when it's going to happen. But once that happens, the solar flash thing happens, or the axis spin, or whatever, it's all going to happen. Maybe the solar flash happens, we all go up, and we're sitting there like shaking, and then it spins, and it comes up, and then we're in this new dimension. But it's not going to be like how people, like, I don't know, it's like it's like everybody thinks everything on a three-dimensional level. When you talk to people, like, they don't see things unless they can only relate it to three-dimensional. So, but I just think that once we get to that part, there is going to be a lot with humans are going to be healing the earth. Like, we are going to be taking care of Earth. We're going to be getting in touch with nature on a different kind of level. And that is, you know, it's going to be kind of like the earth is healing us as we tend the earth and we heal ourselves. But it's going to be kind of like this give and take, kind of like the whole thing with infinity, the whole thing with how things move. And, you know, as we are trying to heal and we're healing the earth is going to be healing us. And that is what is going to be going on. And that is going to be like how we restructure our society. Is that is all going to be on some, you know, whatever dimension they want to call it. You know, it's still going to be what's happening on Earth. That transition, that cycle, this new cycle, and the new cycle of experience for human beings or whatever beings come to experience here. And who knows? I mean, there's lots of beings around us that we don't even have an awareness of. And there's other beings that are living here in the physical, in caves and shit. One thing too, like Bigfoot, you know, that's a multi-dimensional being. And from what I understand, that it comes here just to enjoy the forest and to, because it's so lush and there's so many beings that come here for those kinds of things. And when those beings are here, you know, they have different awarenesses and different kinds of rules or whatever, because they're at a higher dimension. I mean, for them to be able to just come in and go out like that, like humans can't do that yet. And but that's one thing about technology and like spaceships and stuff like that, that we think of like those are space vessels, vehicles or whatever that take these beings through space. That those are also organic. Those are also work with intention. I think intention has something to do, like intention is like a weapon if it's not used right. You know, intention is very real about, you know, you create things by saying them. What was that? I was listening to somebody talk yesterday about something. And it just clicked in my head, like when it might have been in a movie. I don't even know what it was. But once you speak something, you create it. You've already given it, that energy. So, you know, that is a creation in itself. So you've already put that energy out there. And, you know, that is the thing. Like you can direct intention, you know, as an energy. And I think kind of like right now that human beings kind of with intent and manifestation and all that stuff, like this awareness that they're just starting to have of this, that is like I kind of picture like a little naked toddler standing in a room, and they've got this big weapon, and they don't know how to use it, and it's just going crazy all over the place, you know, because it has so much to do with direction and responsibility and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of really cool things to learn about as we progress into these other states of consciousness. So anyways, I think I got most of it out, but it's still early. I mean, it's just so I may end up having more to say today, because they definitely, man, wake you up and they just start showing you things and showing you things and telling you things. And that was weird. When that one came at me, so I mean, I jolted, and I with my eyes like, fuck, you know, stay back a little bit. That was creepy. I would rather have you walk in and physically form, you know, and listen and talk. Than that feels to me more invasive when an energy comes in, you know, like that can feel very intense. And I think it, you know, the physical form, there is a lot more of like a safety net or something. I don't know how to explain it, but anyways, yeah, feels less intrusive to me, like if you know, extraterrestrial or multidimensional being or whatever, you know, came to the door, knocked, and came in, you know, even if they had tentacles and shit, I think I could sit and talk to them and have a conversation without being hung up on what they look like. But when the energy just comes in at you, it feels like, whew, like a giant thing. That just made me picture something, because it was a movie I was watching. Movies are just so fucking goddamn. Sometimes they're just so stupid. Like, they just act like we don't have fucking brains. But, in this one, you know, it was just cops running up to rescue this woman, and she's, you know, completely conked out in this car, even though they've wrecked her car and then moved her into another car and started that car on fire. This girl's not woke up, but this cop runs up, grabs her, drags her out. You know, they barely are a few steps away from the car, and the car explodes. In the there's nothing happens. Like, if a car explodes like that, and the police car that's right up next to it, there's like an energetic force that happens. But see, they manipulate so much stuff. And I think so much of it is so manipulated on purpose. Like, that could be totally like that budget of that movie, you know, because you can watch other movies and they've just, you know, got shit exploding all over the place. Bigger the budget, more explosions they got going. But when they're doing that too, it is utter chaos. That's why I can't handle watching those movies, those action movies and superhero movies and shit. It's like, oh my God. They put in a music, and then they use these sounds to make you feel like tense, and they completely, in a movie, manipulate your emotions through the movie with sound. But then, you know, they just show everything real choppy. Like, bam, 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 you know, all these different things just really fast. It just fucks with your head. It just makes you feel, it's almost like motion sickness or something. I can't handle that shit. And they've got so many people that love it. They're totally into it. It's like, man, I don't know. Do you guys play a lot of fucking video games or what the hell? Because that's, oof. Yeah, I can't do those movies. So, anyways, that's probably... I'll just keep going and going and going. I'll just never shut up. Okay, so have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.